Hey, 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 here we go again. Once again, week one is down, week two is upon us. You have tuned in to Talking NFC Beast. Let's go. So, listen, very, very interesting week. We finally got that out of the way. Week one is down, and we have a lot to talk about. Yes, we do. I don't know if you can see, but we are short one member, and that would be one Hal Dumas, the Giants fan. Yeah.
Hey, look, man.
He says he's not running, but I only see what I see, and what I see is his absence.
I totally understand if he wants to run. Just say you're going to run. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. The word on the street is I didn't get the email to connect with you guys. And then my internet went down. Oh, my internet is back up, but I still don't have the email. So,
hey, Trevis, did you get the email?
Oh, I got the email.
You got the email, Chiefs? Man, did you get the email?
I got the email.
You got the email?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as far as I know, I've sent it to the same email I've been emailing for a few weeks now. So
I know you got the email. You sent the email. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I sent it. I'm here right now. I'm here.
Right now.
I'm here. Man, you're here.
Present.
You're not running. You're not running. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on, and we're gonna recap our week and everything that went down. You know, we're gonna start out. We're gonna recap. Like I said, we're gonna talk about Redskins, Eagles. Then we'll get into Giants, Cowboys, and I guess we'll have to do that. I'll go solo. Trevis and Maine will be support.
We're gonna trash the Giants. We're gonna drag them through the ground. Like you being nice, forget that. Look,
we'll move on and talk about the week two matchups. You know, we talk about Skins, Rams, Eagles, Chiefs, Boys, Broncos, and we all get to talk Giants, Lions. Then we'll get into some rapid fire Q&A that I have for the guys, and then we'll do our game predictions and a little fun. After game predictions, we'll do what I call our bold predictions. So that should be kind of interesting to do afterwards.
All right.
So Trevis and Maine, you know, let me hear what y'all have to say about week one. How did things turn out for y'all?
You know what?
Losers first.
What? I would like to say
losers first.
I would like the winner to go first. You guys won. You have the
winner to go first. No.
No, Maine, you go first.
I think Maine should go first.
Yes, man, you have to go first.
I was not pleased with the outcome, of course. Should I be?
Hell no.
But I will say this. It was a sloppy ass game on both sides.
I can agree with that one.
Both teams, sloppy game.
Yep.
It was not picture perfect by any means necessary. You had turnovers, you had bad passes, you had missed catches, you had blown coverages. And this ain't just the Redskins, it was the Eagles as well.
Yep.
Ultimately, the Redskins lost the game. We all know that. But the score doesn't dictate how that game was played. Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of things that were wrong. I mean, a lot of things that I predicted to happen didn't happen. A lot of the things that Trevis predicted to happen didn't happen. I thought we were going to get more play out of our rookie. But that rookie being Jared Allen. But I guess you can't expect much from a rookie. But hey, look, we paying that dude a lot of money.
But did he play? Because I was actually curious. I didn't think about it until after the game, and I was like, "Yo, what? Got a tough D lineman for rookie." I didn't know if he played or not because I really didn't see him.
You wouldn't think he did, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna let him give him a few games, get his feet wet, get his feet up under him, and see what he can do then. Overall, I was pleased with the linebacking core. They played well. I was pleased with how the Redskins stepped up in the second half and started getting the ball moving more on offense. It took them a minute to get started. They started out way too slow, in my opinion.
Hey, hold up, man. I don't mean to cut you off, but we got to take care of business first. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry, bro. I just had to serve up that crow for you for a minute. You got to get your crow. Now you can continue. Got to serve up the crow every week. When you lose, take that crow, baby.
Okay. Hey, I accept it.
You may continue.
L is an L. L is an L. Hey, look, I'm not running from that L.
No, you're not.
I'm just saying. I'm not running. But, I will say I was very displeased with the big call or the referees blowing that call of Kirk Cousins throwing the ball. And I will say this as a caveat: that's not why they lost the game.
Nope.
It would have gave them the opportunity to go down the field and score, of course. But
I would have liked to have
at least seen what they could do, right?
Out. Yeah.
At least see why Kirk Cousins is getting that franchise tag again, and why they offered him money for that 5-year deal that he didn't take.
Right.
Let him really prove himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not Nostradamus. I can't say that he would have scored. I don't know. He'd have thrown a touchdown or led them to the promised land. I can't say. I like to believe he can, but we won't never know because the referees blew the daggone call. So it is what it is. Can't blame it on the refs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it stuck.
From what I could see, Trevis, if I can go before you, for my take on Maine's right, it was a sloppy game. Like I wasn't overly it's a good win for the Eagles. A win is a win is a win,
How you get it?
At the end of the day, they're 1-0, and that's all that damn it matters. But sometimes you have to keep it in perspective and not, get too high or too low on how that, win came about. And if you're being honest about the game and you're looking at things the way they played out, you remember, Kirk Cousins threw yet another red zone interception.
Yes, he did.
And he has a propensity to do that, which is horrible. Like he does that often. And it was a touchdown. He hits him in the numbers. That's practically a walk-in touchdown because Jalen Smith and I forget who that other corner was over there, but they both covered the same man. So Jalen Smith blew the coverage and then was rewarded with an overthrown ball that he caught for an interception. So he definitely bailed him out there. But I think a lot of that game also had to do with the Eagles basically catching the Redskins at the right time, which is the first game of the season, because you could clearly see they were way out of sync with that new offensive coordinator and new system, and they just didn't have it together yet. And, sometimes that can go both ways, because if they are on point, then the Eagles would have been at a disadvantage because they wouldn't have really known what the hell the Redskins were going to do.
Right.
But the Eagles, I guess, combated that by, sending the dogs after Kirk Cousins, because it wasn't just their front seven. Like, they were blitzing the hell out of them, especially early on.
Yeah, they were going to test them. They were going to test we're going to test them in that new system.
And that was smart to do, rather than sit back and wait to see what y'all going to hit us with that we weren't prepared for. We're going to make you adjust to all these dog blitzes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But you said something that was key. You said that, if you put it into perspective, and to me, it sounded like you were saying, if you're realistic about how the game went, you look at that game, you say, okay, that really was anybody's game. There was not a dominant team in that.
No, it was not.
And that's why I kind of said the score wasn't indicative of how that game really was played.
Right.
I mean, there were a lot of mistakes on both sides of the ball. It just so happens the Redskins made more mistakes.
Yep.
at the end of the game, they were still in the hunt. They were there.
Still in the game. Mm-hmm.
They were right there. So
you had drop passes by Pryor, big drops.
Big drop. First play of the game was a big drop. He lost the ball.
Yeah.
Lost the ball in the sun. First play, and he was wide open.
Yep.
But you don't cry over spilled milk. He didn't make the play.
Right.
They didn't win the game, but I put it like this. I'm not saying the Eagles are a bad team. I don't think they're a bad team.
No, they're not.
But I don't think I lived in Philly for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. They are super hype over this win.
Oh my gosh.
They're talking Super Bowl already.
Yeah.
Because they don't do that. And you're gonna hear a lot of that in about 2 minutes. Watch.
Uh-huh.
You'll hear a lot of that.
I think Trevis tends to keep a level head, but you're right. I've been listening to WIP in 97.5, and the Carson Wentz is clearly the best quarterback in the NFC East. The Eagles are head and shoulders the best team in the NFC East. One dude called in. He said, "Yeah, the Cowboys were Giants were and we blew the Redskins out. We're clearly the best team in the NFC."
Oh, wow.
And I just turned down and down, man. I said, I can't do it. I can't do it with these fans, man. They too much. But having said that, let's go to the Eagles fan on the panel.
Please, I'm waiting to hear this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No problem. You earned the right.
There's that perspective right there.
Yeah, you earned the right.
And we're on the road to victory. Anything else and nothing else matters right now. We're on the road to victory. Okay? First and foremost, I want to recap some of the words that were said by me previously. Okay, Kendricks proved to me that he can actually tackle. All right,
yeah.
It's one thing. Okay, two, Aguilar proved to me that he can actually catch a football. Okay, so those two things that they knocked down that I had said previously that I was not happy about, but obviously they did. Again,
I'm glad you owned up to that.
The running back by committee situation and the X amount of yards in which they got in the first game was 58 yards with the running by committee, which is currently 24th in the NFL right now, which is not good. I'm just happy that there's other teams that are behind us. So I guess everybody was trying to figure out their running game in week one. We are fourth in the NFL with the 30 points that we happen to put up on the Redskins. We're 11th with 356 in overall yards, and we're fifth in our passing yards. But the game itself and the way that it went down, Eagles started hot. They started hot. It started to look good. It didn't stay good because there was a point where the Redskins came back and they knew that they had to do something. But Pryor is not a Redskin. Pryor was playing for the Cleveland Browns when them balls were right through his arms.
Yeah,
that was not who you would have previously wanted to catch the ball in his hands. So we were grateful by those two drops that he had that went right through his hands, and it kind of allowed the Eagles to go like, "Yo, we messed up on that play. Okay, let's not do that again." And then Darby went down, and it was like, okay, well, who's going to stick him? Then they went cornerback by committee on him, and they had different people sticking him at different times. So I think we are grateful with the fact that it was a new offensive coordinator that came in because Cousins threw a couple of irate passes that were kind of like over that interception in Mills. I think he was looking for the receiver to do something else, and he didn't. So
he missed him.
Well, he missed him, but I think he was looking for him to either go straight up the field on a play. You think that was a complete miss, like a complete just throw over?
Yeah, I think he just sailed it over his head.
Donovan McNabb type throw over. Like
he just sailed it over his head. The dude was wide open.
Yes, and he missed it completely. It looked like he was looking for the receiver to do something else. How bad he missed it. But I don't know. What the receiver did, he was wide ass open. Where Cousins throwing it to, he wasn't. Exactly. So you never know unless they said something in the post game about, hey, what were you doing when you threw that ball? But as far as the fumble at the end of the game, he hit his arm with the left arm first. He hit him. He hit his arm first with the left arm. Then he comes across while Cousin is coming in. He chops him with the left arm. I was trying to show it while you were talking, Mike. But
I was looking at it. I saw it.
It was showing it. If you look at it from the other angle, he hits it with the left arm first, which then makes his arm come forward. And that's why they were saying it looked like he just dropped the ball because he tomahawks him with the left broke arm. He tomahawks him with that first. So, and you know they're not gonna change a call that they made a call for.
Sometimes you can't make sense out of nonsense. That's
okay. I mean, you call it how you want to. I was trying to show it to y'all, but
I'm saying you can try and show it to me, but Mike Pereira and Blandino both looked at it and they both said the same thing, and then they came back a day afterwards and said the same thing. They said his arm was coming forward with control.
Both of them, man. I ain't trying to hear what they talking about, man. I don't give a damn about either one of them. It's what we saw on the field. Everybody saw. Oh yeah, that's a fumble. Like there's nothing else you can do. That wasn't even the Tom Brady forward.
Everybody didn't say that, Trevis.
Dude, y'all had y'all defense back on the field because y'all thought it was a throw.
Exactly.
Defense was on the field.
Hey, you know what? We're being truthful right now. I ain't gonna lie. When I text in our Eagles room, I said, "Oh, that's coming back."
Yeah.
The first thing I said, that's coming back.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying.
That's coming back. But I'm telling you, when you look at the instant replay in slow mo, his left hand hits his arm. His left hand hits his arm.
I got a question for you, Trees.
Yes.
How many yards did Pryor have receiving?
Oh, I don't know. I could look it up. I don't know what Pryor had. I have no idea.
How many yards did Alshon Jeffries have?
Jeffries had.
Pryor had 6 for 66.
I know.
Alshon Jeffrey had 3 for 38.
38 yards. How many receivers were over 100 yards receiving that game?
None of ours.
None.
Ertz had 93.
Zach Ertz came the closest.
None.
Yeah, Ertz had 98.
And what that tells me, that is, it kind of solidifies that statement I made in the beginning. It was a sloppy game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
it was a sloppy game. You know. And then
the Eagles went dormant. Like it was like they came out hot and then it was like over. As soon as Darby got hurt, it was like everything just went bland for them. They was like, "Yo, we just want this game to be over," and they were just hoping and praying for a miracle. And Pryor gave it to us.
No, y'all didn't get a miracle. You just got a blown call. You got a bad call. But hey, look, like I said, you got the dub, and that's cool. I get it. You know, it's week one.
I'm not predicting a Super Bowl off a win off the Redskins. Now, come on, think about that.
Some of your fellow fans are, Jack.
Now, if Kansas City beating New England, if we were Kansas City beating New England, I'd have been like, yeah, yo, I kind of feel it right now. But
well, shit,
you gotta beat the Super Bowl champs. You gotta beat the Super Bowl champs to say something like that.
Eagles fans are poo-pooing that win now because they'll play Kansas City coming up. So now that win wasn't impressive.
That will lead us into our next conversation where shit just got real.
yeah, shit. Hey, man, I had a question for you. Y'all running game, do you think like it sucked? But I don't know if it was.
No, you know what I will say about that running game? I was fearful a couple of times. I think he's a good running back, and I think if he actually broke a couple of those ankle tackles, he would have been gone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask him. Was it a lack of blocking or whatever, or was it a lack of commitment to the running game?
It was a lack of commitment, in my opinion.
Y'all didn't run a lot at all.
And that's what I was going to say. I'm looking at the stats. Kelly only had 10 rushes. Thompson only had 3.
Right.
The touchdown that Thompson had, that was a pass.
In a close game on top of that. So that's crazy.
Yeah, and I think they were playing the run as if they were behind like by 3 or 4 touchdowns. They never were behind by that. You know what I mean? I mean, they took the lead at one point.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
To get back in true Redskin form and fashion, they need to run the ball more. And that's a head coaching call. That's an offensive coordinator call. That's Kavanaugh, the offensive coordinator. He's got to know that. You got to run the ball. You know, stick to the plan to open up them passing lanes, run the ball. Because in my opinion, I don't feel like the corners for the Eagles could do anything with the receivers like talking about it. It wasn't the corners shutting the receivers down. It was a matter of the offense not getting in the flow and them getting into a rhythm to make the passes in the plays that they needed to make. You know, I think personally, the Redskins did everything to lose that game and didn't do anything to win it. And then the Eagles didn't do anything to lose the game, but they didn't do anything exceptionally well to win the game either. You know, I feel like it was a matter of who didn't make the most mistakes would win the game, and that's kind of what happened.
Game. But the whole game, the Eagles were shooting themselves in the foot. They had almost
that's what I'm saying.
Yards and penalties against them.
It wasn't necessarily, you know, a dominant team on the field. It was a matter of whoever made the most mistakes was going to lose the game, and that's what the Redskins did. You know, the Redskins did enough. They did more than the Eagles did to shoot themselves in the foot to get the L.
Right. They made more mistakes than the Eagles.
They made more mistakes. You know, and that's not me trying to put the Eagles down and saying that they're a bad team, because I don't think that. I think, but if we're talking about this particular game and what happened, that's what happened. The Redskins made more mistakes, and they did more to lose that game than the Eagles did to win that game.
Yeah, y'all had 2 fumbles. That's not good.
Yeah, y'all did too. Y'all had turnovers too.
Yeah, we had turnovers. I mean, but Thompson fumble and Kirk Cousins fumble.
And y'all let Aguilar get loose on that busted play, which helped to inflate.
You gotta make
even try to tackle him. He didn't try to tackle him. He just threw his body at him.
That's what Swearinger does, though. He's a hitter more than he is a tackler.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and really, shouldn't have been him. That should have been Sua Cravens, but Sua Cravens is not playing. He's taking a leave of absence or some type of sabbatical because he's having issues.
Family. Is he the one who was talking about retiring?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he got the way Jay Gruden described it. It was more of a family issue type thing. He was considering whether or not he was even going to play football anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, when it's stuff like that, I mean, what are you going to do? You know, it is what it is.
Right.
You know,
that's when you kind of have.
He's in his second year. He's a hard hitter, but I mean, I'll be real with you. The Redskins ain't got it together at safety since Sean Taylor. I mean, it's just is what it is.
Yeah, that was.
Let's be real.
I was so mad y'all had him. That boy was good, and he was a hitter.
Yeah, he was a
terror. Knock your daggone head off. He would knock your head off.
There was nothing bad you could say about that dude as a damn football player.
Yeah,
not at all. I mean, he had his off the field issues. You know, he caught a bad break. What happened to him was unfortunate, you know, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
But shit. Y'all finished with that? Let's move into Giants Cowboys without Hal. I guess before we do that, in honor of one Hal Dumas, play this week 1 montage.
Oh, we can't hear that, bro.
Nah, I was about to hit you and say I can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
No, sir.
None of it.
It's low.
Nah.
Still no?
Really?
Yeah.
He's gonna be stand up like he on. He's gonna be better than Tony Gonzalez. When it's
Tony Gonzalez.
That's quite a projection. That is not exactly. What's that? He played one.
Bro, you gotta start that one over. You gotta play that from the beginning. You gotta play that from the beginning.
Yeah, technical difficulties, people. We're gonna start this over.
Hey, dog. What's
I gotta talk about my life as I see it.
Biggie? You know what? You just ready a mismatch. You know what's gonna be a huge mismatch for you guys. You're not gonna be ready for Ingram, because he's a tight end, but he has wide receiver speed. Y'all don't match up well with tight ends that can run. He's a little boy. And he hits you in the mouth. Real hard. seen that young man play? Like he a seasoned vet. He a damn rookie, ain't he? He's a beast. Mark my words. I'm putting the name of the franchise on that young man. Yeah, he's gonna be like he's gonna be better than Tony Gonzalez when it's all said and done.
Wow, that's quite a projection. That is nothing. Exactly.
What's that?
Play one game. Hey, dog, what's up with that old line?
Our line is gonna get better, man. I mean, it was trash last year. Well, did he not have a valid D-backs?
I know.
How are you gonna do it?
Was that not a valid question? Who are your D-backs?
Give the Family Feud buzzer at the end of that.
Oh man.
Wrong.
Dumas, this is for you, brother.
The G girl.
Not even close. Not even close.
Not even close. Evan Ingram, 44 yards. Kept 31 of them come on the last play. One of the last plays in garbage time. Don't even matter. So to say he was a bit
Tony Gonzalez.
yeah. His career didn't get off to the Tony Gonzalez type start, if you know. Who knows what the future holds? But for now, yeah, he's got a lot of making up to do. That's for damn sure. I mean, there were even I was pleasantly surprised, not too surprised, because I was kind of saying all along, they beat us 2 times, well, 3 times straight, if you want to count the year of Kellen Moore, Brandon Whedon, and Matt Castle, if you want to count that as well, 3 times in a row. But like I said about the Eagle Skins earlier, you got to keep the games in perspective, man. Like, a win is a win, but you can't ignore how the games played out. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a mistake, of course, Doom has made and a lot of Giants fans made. Like, those were games Cowboys could have won, but for not an overthrown pass here, a drop pass there. So, I was confident going into the game. I wasn't 3 points confident. Damn. I mean, geez. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see that. I asked him about that offensive line. That was a problem last year. Hasn't been addressed, obviously. That running game, not even close. That running game was a problem. They're relying on Paul Perkins now. Came up short, very short. Was it again an issue of commitment to the run or no blocking? That's something for them to work out. I think we play them again in October, early in October. I forget which date it is. Mm-hmm. So we'll see them again. Maybe they'll have some of that stuff worked out by then. I have no idea. One of my biggest concerns going into the game was the secondary. And I was very pleased, very pleased. I was, excited about some of the young fellas. Scandrick went out early with a broken hand, and I brought in young Chidobe Awuzie, Cheeto. And he came in and shut Brandon Marshall ass down. He had no catches until the very last play of the game.
1 for 10.
Yeah.
One catch for 10 yards.
1 catch for 10 damn yards.
4 targets.
Yeah. So, when you want to talk about, domination, that was domination. They got dominated,
Damnation. It was terrible.
Yeah. Their defense showed up as expected, but you got to put up more than three points or most likely 10 points, but this isn't rookie Dak Prescott anymore. So you're going to have to like beat him. So, that's why they got 19 hung up on him, which is there's not great numbers, but Dak had a solid game. Zeke got his 100 yards. Dak missed Dez a couple of times for a couple of easy touchdown passes, but that's the early season blues right there. Those early season struggles. Just find a way to win that first game and, iron out the kinks as time goes on. So that's pretty much what I had for that.
I got a question for you about the Cowboys.
What's up?
So who was Scandrick's backup?
Scandrick's backup was Scandrick's kind of played. He starts at the right corner.
Right corner.
Yeah, and then he moves into the slot. When they go in nickel situation.
Right.
Cheeto was first off the. No, my bad. Anthony Brown was first off the bench. So when Scandrick went down, he came in, played the right corner, and then he was moving into the slot, when they came into nickel, and then Cheeto came in, to fill Anthony Brown's shoes since Anthony Brown had to play full time.
You think that's I know, you lose a player like Scandrick, that's a big deal because he's no pushover.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You think the backups are going to be able to pick up that load for him?
I do. Like these dudes, like Dallas has been drafting very well lately, and I was high on Cheeto. I was high on Cheeto, and we're taking the bubble wrap off of Jordan Lewis this week. People were saying he was the best in the country, but he had a domestic violence case that made him drop in the draft as well.
You know that? Wow.
Yeah. He actually it's weird, like not to get too far off topic, but it was similar to like a girl basically is like, I'm going to ruin you, and his case was taken all the way to court, and he was like, yo, fuck that, I'm like fighting this, and he actually missed like the first week or maybe just the first few days of training camp to go back to, I think it was to Michigan, to fight that case, and he won.
Okay.
So, and I don't think the league is going to like try and come after him now. I don't know why they chose to do that for Zeke, maybe because they didn't press charges against Zeke, but Jordan Lewis has actually played out in court. So, but then he came back. He was finally got that cleared up, came back to camp, boom, hamstring, first day back. So he's been kind of jacked up since then. But, like I said, the bubble wrap comes off this week, so he'll be out there on full display, So, but they're solid, man.
I will say this. I think, you mind if I go first, Travis? Do you mind?
It's Trevis. Yeah, you got
Trevis. I don't want to mispronounce your name. It's Travis, right? Trevis.
Trevis, like Travis.
Trevis, my bad, homie. All right. I don't ever want to disrespect the man in his name. But I think I saw about the Cowboys that I didn't like was I wanted to see Dez. I wanted to see him go at that defense because the Giants have a good defense. They have a solid defense. I wanted to see him put up Dez numbers. I really wanted to see that, and I didn't, and I was disappointed in that.
Yeah,
I wanted to see him throw up that X because he's a loud talker, but he has a big game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wanted to see that, and I was a little disappointed in the fact that didn't happen. And it wasn't to me. It wasn't because Dak didn't do his job. I thought Dak played a really good game. I did. I thought he played well. Can he play better? I think he can play better than that. Honestly, to be real with you, I think he can.
I don't think. No, Dez didn't have a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Getting feedback right now. But Dak did actually miss him twice that would have like made a difference with his numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There is a shot on the high 22 film where you could see Dez like Dez killed Janoris Jenkins, and actually, someone took a still shot of it, and it made a meme out of it. Says, "When you think you have Dez covered," and it's a picture where you could see Dez running away from Jenkins, and Jenkins is literally on his hands and knees, like with his face down, because Dez shook him so bad.
Yeah.
But that was clearly, he didn't even look over there that play. He made a quick read to the right, and Dez was like way up the field on Jenkins at that time. So that was a blown opportunity. That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And like I said, he missed him on the goal line when Dez beat Jenkins on the slant. So, yeah, I think Jenkins is way overrated. I'm gonna just say that. And not the bitch and complain too much. But with Dez, I think there's a bit of a kind of like a Shaq rule with Dez, where how Shaq would get like murdered, like just beat the hell up, and refs used to be like, man, whatever, take it. You're a big dude, like like they had to like pull both Shaq arms down, for him to get a foul call. And I think some of that happens with Dez, because Dez is Dez is a damn mule, man. Like, he's strong as hell, and you could see Jenkins like two hands shoving this dude like out of bounds with the ball in the air, and it's like, take it, where other receivers who are probably not as big, like if Jenkins two hands shoved them, they're going flying out of bounds. Strong as he is, he's like, no, like he's gonna fight back, and now you see them like fighting all the way down the damn field, passing complete. Great coverage, Jenkins, And Dez doesn't. He'll bitch about it a little bit, but he's not gonna get too carried away with it. So I think some of that was going on as well. But overall, I'll take Dez over Jackrabbit any damn day. Lame man.
I will say this though. I mean, I'm not saying that there was some plays where Jenkins did, probably abuse Dez not necessarily off the line, but when the ball was in the air, But I think overall Jenkins didn't do a bad job. He didn't do a bad job.
I mean, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight, and there's gonna be a competitive, day between the two of them. But I think it's a little overrated as far as Jenkins having Dez's number, though. I think that's a little overrated. I think
I don't know if he has his number. I'll just say in the context of the game, and especially if you go by stats purely, and I'm not even talking about the eye test. Jenkins won that battle,
If you go by stats, absolutely.
Yeah, if you go by stats,
But I watched the game.
Yeah, I did too. So and that's why I made that statement in particular, because the eye test is a lot different than what you see things in that eye test that them stats don't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the Redskins Eagles score, you would think that, man, the Redskins just didn't do anything right, but that ain't necessarily the case.
Right.
But by watching the game, it just didn't play out like that. So I understand where you're coming from. I definitely do. Now on to the Giants. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Why did they not only score 3 points? Why did they only score 3 points?
Well, I can answer. I could probably answer your question on that, because
I gotta know, please.
I'm looking at some of the highlights. Eli Manning is the reason why they only scored 3 points.
You think it started with Eli?
He checked down a whole lot of times. There were some people that were out open deep. He checked down to the running backs a lot of time, and they got tackled immediately most of the time. Then his offensive line, Eli was getting mangled.
That's where it started.
Off stunt blitzes. It was like, yo, where are you at? And then Eli, he's always been the pull down quarterback. He's not going to sit there and throw the ball. He's going to pull it down and take the sack.
There's a reason he's played like 1 million games in a row.
Exactly.
He's not taking those hits.
He's not going to take the hit. He's going to pull the ball down and fall to the ground. And that's exactly what's happening in this game that I'm watching currently right now. He pulled down a whole lot of times. Cowboys did real good with the stunt blitzes. For some reason, his guard could not realize that they were doing a stunt blitz, and he just let him go. And Eli was like, man, I'm going down to the ground. Like, I'm not going to take that hit. So, contrary to popular belief, what Duma said, we're a whole lot better than last year. No, the hell you are not. Your team looks very bad. your offensive line does not want to block for Eli. That's a problem. And if you don't have Odell Beckham for the next 6 to 8 weeks, and nobody's doubling anybody in your secondary, and your offensive line is not blocking, like Stretch said, everybody in the NFC East can't win 10, 11 games. And I think the Giants is where that's going to get spent at because they're not able to do anything. They look lost.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. The only thing I disagree in what you said is that it don't start with Eli. It start with that offensive line.
Yeah.
That was the problem. You know, they didn't do anything. It was almost like they ain't like Eli for real. and I don't blame Eli. I ain't taking that hit either. Hell no. For what? Like Ricky Waters, for who? For what? No. I'm gonna go down. You're not gonna block for me, so I'm not gonna toss the ball up and make myself look stupid. No. I'm gonna go down, live to fight another play, and see what I can do from there. But you know, don't get me wrong. At some point, you're gonna have to take that hit. I mean, you're gonna get you play quarterback, you're gonna have to get hit in the mouth.
Or do some more to avoid that. Like he's going if that's not gonna change, he's gonna
do that. Well, we know he can't do that. He's not gonna be able to avoid the sack. He ain't running or in ducking and dodging but so much because he can't do that. He's just not agile enough.
It'll be a long season for him.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But
I don't see that O-line's not gonna magically get fixed. Like those weren't some of them were scheme and recognition issues, but those dudes physically suck too. Like you can see, like Absolutely. Some of them, there weren't even any moves put on them and they couldn't hold up.
And my thing is this: I get OBJ was out of the game. I get it, and he's their best receiver. He's their best player on their team. He's one of the top players in the league. Right. Arguably top three players in the league. One of the top 3 in the league. But it ain't gonna matter if your offensive line can't block long enough for Eli to get him the ball.
Right.
It's not gonna matter.
And he's been playing and. What's that number? The 7 games in a row now. Giants haven't scored more than 20 points.
Ooh,
wow!
They've been leaking oil. Yeah. They've been leaking oil for a minute now.
Say it again. Say that again.
7 games in a row. The Giants haven't scored more than 20 points. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
Nice, you get the gas face, third base style. You get the gas face. You suck. That was terrible. And you know what? The only argument Dumas can have in this situation is that he said the Giants are a second half of the season team.
Right, which
you better hope y'all make it there.
Yeah, can't keep living off that bullshit either. I mean, this is not that era anymore. Whatever that last run was, like that shit hasn't held true for a minute either. Like
they might have played the worst in the NFL in week 1.
Yeah,
they might be the worst. I have to look at. They might have been the worst.
That was horrible. I was even shocked, man. Like,
and Brandon Marshall had 1 catch for 10 yards in the last 10 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
That was just so they could say as a Giant he caught a pass. That's all that was.
That O-line was so bad that I don't even know how to feel about my defensive line right now because I'm like, all right, I can't take anything from that.
Oh, well, the Giants are 28th. They're 28th in the league because they scored 3 points. I remember there were I think that the Cincinnati Bengals scored nothing. And I think there was another team that scored nothing last week.
The Bengals were pretty bad. Yeah.
The Bengals that looked bad. So
the Bengals were really bad.
They're 30th in rushing also. They only got 35 yards.
Who?
They only got 35 yards. They're 30th in rushing.
The Giants only ran for 35 yards.
Yeah, they couldn't run.
So that could have been a big problem. They didn't even try to run more than a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, with who? With Perkins?
They had 7 attempts with Perkins.
Perkins and Vereen?
He had 7 attempts for 16 yards.
Yeah, Shane Vereen ought to give some of his game check back.
Like I said, domination, man. Domination.
They didn't run with Vereen, though. They don't show rushing yards for him. They had him listed,
even if they had him listed as a running back. You gotta go down swinging, right? If it ain't working with Perkins, then run Vereen. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
Do something. But
we'll see what type of coach they got because
well, we know his ass is arrogant, but he got a dose of humble ass pie this past week. I'm sure they were like, do you know the Cowboys D-backs now? Some bitch.
No, I mean, at the end of that game, you can hear the announcer saying, okay, if they want to try to even win this game, what they need to do is throw a Hail Mary here, score a touchdown, onside kick.
Already tapped out.
They didn't even try.
No, they had already tapped out, man.
Like, y'all took their soul, bro. Y'all took their soul.
No. You can see that look on Eli's face, man. He just wanted to go back to that locker and change and get on that plane, man.
Yeah.
That's he ain't want no more. That shit was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Oh.
That was a piss poor performance, man. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, it was surprising because, you know, all the hype that's been talked about with the Giants, you know, winning the East, you know, flat out, you know, who knows how things going to shake out, but week one sure as hell didn't look so great for them. That's for damn sure.
What I want to say, and I want to interject a little sidebar on what Dumas has said about him being as good as Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez in his first year had 33 receptions for 368 yards. This was in 1997. That is a lot of yards for a tight end in 1997.
How many yards?
368 yards in his rookie year.
On 33 receptions?
Yep, 33 receptions. Now, for a tight end, and they didn't know, in 97, tight ends weren't that big in the offense.
Yeah.
But by his fourth year, he had 1,203 yards. That was in the year 2000.
Honestly,
so
you know
what?
Put
up 1,000 yards as a tight end is amazing.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know why in the world he made that comparison. That just, I mean, you can throw 10,000 stats out there. I don't know too many Giants fans that would have made that same comparison.
That statement, yeah. That's probably why he didn't show up.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's a beast.
He
like,
didn't show up, Stevens, because you posted my damn montage. I think he was shook. He was shook when he heard. He said, "Oh, but you see what he said? He said, damn, like I'm really like in deep waters."
But hold on, Mike. This is worse to not show at all. This is worse. He should have been prepared with something like, "Hey, well, let me tell you what happened. Let me defend my team. This went wrong. That went wrong." He just said, "You know what? We need to just show an empty chair with a Giants jersey on it." And say, "What do you think, Giants fan?"
Let me give some context. So in our green room session, in one of our sessions, Mike put together a montage, the montage that you heard earlier, that of all of the statements that Dumas made about the Giants and how they were going to perform and what they were going to do, the mispronunciation of one of his players, that kind of stuff. And in there, he said that Tony Gonzalez, that Evan Ingram was going to be like a Tony Gonzalez, you know, which is just blasphemy. That's the best word I can come up with. It's blasphemy.
Stretch.
I mean, you're talking about a Hall of Famer, a legend, I mean, this dude has broken out on Tony Gonzalez has broken out on how many records, and you're a guy that played one game,
hadn't played a game yet,
not played a regular season game yet, and you're comparing him. You think he's gonna be that good? I mean, you don't even put he's gonna be Tony Gonzalez-esque. You say he's the next Tony Gonzalez.
He's gonna be better. He's
gonna be better.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. Hey, look, if it comes to fruition, I'll give him props for that.
Right.
I don't see it.
But yeah, the reason. Trevis let the cat out the bag too soon.
Yeah, Trevis played the montage. He gave us or sent it in our conversation.
What that?
He sent it to us. Yeah. So we listened to it first. So all of us knew that this was coming, that the onslaught of the Giants was coming, that we were gonna straight murder them as they deserved to be murdered for that poor ass performance they put up. So he knew going into it that this was coming. Hey man, you just gotta face the music, man. I took my lumps.
Yeah.
You know, I sit here today, I take my lumps. You know, ain't none of the teams in the NFC East perfect. We know that.
Right.
Own up to it. But
you gotta show up. You sign up to show up.
You got to show up.
Can't do that. You can't do it. gonna kill you. It's gonna be even worse now, Hal.
Just like a goddamn G Girls fan. You just don't show up.
E-girls.
Blame it on your internet.
Blame it on your internet.
You're a grown man. Your internet ain't going down. Nobody trying to hear that.
What's this thing called? The World Wide Web.
Right, the interweb.
What is this called? www?
You ever used this thing before? Last week it was, I got the PlayStation 4 headset.
This is certified.
PlayStation 4 or Bluetooth Hashitashi headset. This week, yeah, my interwebs are down.
Straight radio silence.
Yo, you gotta send me the link. I ain't got the link.
Hey, look,
All tied to the same text. You got the link.
this week,
I need the link, son.
this is what you get from Doomis.
Yeah.
No. This is what you get from Doomis right here. He say stuff like this.
Ingram.
He a damn rookie. You already said, he said, mark my words.
My
Mark
word.
my words, Giants fans.
Oh,
This is what you Giants fans come up with. We dream of Super Bowls. Y'all say that a rookie gonna be better than one of the greatest tight ends that ever played the game.
Hey, hey, Trevis. Hey, you're in that BG WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah.
Put that in there, Trevis.
I did.
You
I did. That's why I was looking for the link. Because I'm like, yo, give me the link for tonight. Because I was like, look, I'm going to put this in there so everybody can hear the type of comments that Giants fans make.
Man.
Come on.
Ooh.
I'm an Eagles fan, but I got my head tied on correctly. Hello.
Man, that's
Come
good.
on, man. I would have never said that. I wouldn't even say that about Ertz. And Ertz is pretty good of a tight end, but I ain't going to say he's
You
better
say
than
that about
Cody
anybody,
Gonzalez.
really.
That is absurd. You know what? From looking at Ingram, because I really didn't pay that dude no mind. I heard all the preseason hype, but looking at him, to me, I don't even see a tight end, man. I see a big wide receiver, and
they're trying to make a tight end. So it's
Right.
going to take about 4 or 5 years for him to gain some weight on him
exactly
before they can actually
And if
throw him
that
out
doesn't
there
happen,
and do something.
what that tells me, because everybody will want to get a mismatch with him on the linebacker. And I think that 131-yard play, they got a mismatch of him on our outside linebacker, Damian Wilson.
But with no Odell, that's a problem. With no Odell, that's a problem.
Right.
Because now they got a safety over top of the linebacker, so there's no point.
Yeah. And they'll just match him up. They'll bring in a nickel corner or whatever. And he's not a devastating run blocker, obviously, because they couldn't run on us. So
that's kind of like what the Eagles did with Reed. They had to put Malcolm Jenkins over top of him because anybody else thinking he would have been over.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to shake out for him, but I don't see a future Tony Gonzalez. That Tony Gonzalez was a beast because he was big as hell and he was fast as hell.
Yeah.
No, he couldn't.
Linebackers weren't prepared for him.
Right.
Defenses weren't prepared for the pass to the tight end at the time.
Yeah.
All they had when I was in school was the pop pass to the tight end. That was it.
Right. Linebackers were too slow for Tony Gonzalez, and D-backs were too damn small. So it was like the perfect storm. But
he was sure-handed, and he blocked.
Yeah. He couldn't block worth a damn.
Yeah, he couldn't block because I remember watching him a couple of games. He looked like he just fell off people.
He was a horrible blocker. But I don't see Tony Gonzalez in Evan Ingram. I don't see it.
No.
Sorry, Hal. But what we gonna do is try again next week and see how that goes.
I don't even see him as a Gronkowski. So I don't know what to tell you.
Hell no.
I don't know what to tell you. You better hope for something. You
know,
gotta worry about his offensive line blocking and stop worrying about tight end.
He's gonna have to shoot for an Antonio or maybe even a Jordan Reed type. Like that's probably
he's not even like an Antonio Gates. So
no,
he got to worry about something.
He's gonna have to shoot for Jordan
Reed. But Jordan Reed came out busting. Like
I think Jordan Reed is bigger than Evan Ingram.
But that's the number one thing that you gotta hate is pre-hype. When you pre-hype somebody like that, not everybody know you're there.
And the players know
that's
it
bad.
too.
Yeah, the parents know. They like, yo, they watching,
Yeah.
all the little videos and everything on who good in the NFL. They're like, what? Who this bull?
Yep.
They don't week 1.
They
This
said
bull
that
can't
cat
do
was
nothing.
all world in the preseason.
All world. Well, in the preseason,
In the preseason, man.
Yeah.
they allowed them to, and they was dumb enough to show him. They was
Mhm.
dumb enough to put him out there in the preseason. By the
Right.
season came, they said, "Oh yeah, you man up on him. Don't let him go nowhere." Now what? Where your skills at?
I enjoy bashing the shit out of these Giants, but we need to move
Okay.
on. We've been on this shit long as fuck.
I was about to hit you with another
One
statement.
time.
I was about to hit you with another statement, but I'm gonna let it go.
Oh,
One more time. You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it.
Look, hold on. I'm gonna give this one stat.
All right.
Evan Ingram is 240, 6'3".
Oh, he's a toothpick.
Yeah.
He's a toothpick.
Like I said, he a big wide receiver.
240, 6'3".
A big wide
a
receiver. Yeah. That's gonna be interesting to see how that works out, man. That's gonna
Jordan
be
Reed is 246, 6'2".
okay. So
I
yeah,
wouldn't have thought that. I'd have thought Reed. I thought you could have switched those stats.
yeah, he's closer to Reed size.
Yeah,
He's closer to Reed size.
I didn't see Jordan Reed in the way he played either. So,
Nope. Reed's more physical.
But
than,
what year?
than
What
he-
year is Reed?
this is like his third or fourth year.
Yeah. So when you look at it, he gained some weight over the years too, because I don't think he came into the
Yeah, he
league
did.
240.
Yeah, he wasn't always that big.
He did. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he turns out. He's not a big boy at all, though.
No.
Fast. He'll lose some speed as he gets bigger too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So, Maine, Skins Rams, what you thinking?
I think the Skins will pull things together a lot more. I'm praying that they run the ball more.
They have
I'm praying that they run the ball more. They got to run the ball more. In order for them, they have to. They have to.
Yeah.
To get Kirk Cousins more in the flow of the offense, to open up those passing lanes, they need to run that ball more.
Commit.
Kelly and Thompson are solid running backs. They can do it. They're not big name running backs, but they can do it. Especially if you put, run sweeps with Thompson on the outside, leave Kelly in between the tackles and in short yardage situations, and then you can also put Thompson out in the flats or let him run short routes over the middle, just like he did, because he can create his own play once he gets the ball in his hands from a short reception. So they have to include that running game, little short dinks and dunks to open up that defense a little bit more, to open up those passing lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And when they open up them passing lanes, damn it, Pride, catch the damn ball, boy. Catch the ball.
You know what's funny about that is when I saw him dropping those damn passes, I was like, was he doing this shit in Cleveland? Is that why they wouldn't back up the Brinks truck for him? Because you missed stuff in Cleveland, but he's in the NFC East now, so that spotlight is on his ass.
Yep.
I watched him play in Cleveland. I think in Cleveland, they didn't have anything else. They went to him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He got a lot of work in Cleveland.
Was he dropping passes?
He wasn't driving passes nearly as much. To me, he was overworked in Cleveland. I think in this first game with the Redskins, what you saw with Pryor is that his load was probably reduced some, so he was used to them coming back to him a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to make plays when plays are given to you. You got to make plays.
Right.
It's just, there's no two bits about it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And that's why he took a 1-year deal, for $8 million, so that he could come and prove himself and step up to get that long-term contract.
Oh, is that all he signed was a 1 year?
1-year deal. That's it. He didn't sign.
Same thing Alshon Jeffrey did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 year.
I feel like
a bigger contract.
Yeah, and to be real with you, I feel like Alshon Jeffries, he gotta prove himself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have that opportunity.
Deals when they don't have enough takers, so it's kind of like, all right, well, I'll take this, prove myself, and get a bigger contract. But there's a reason there's only a 1 year deal, because nobody really is buying into their talents like that.
You would think as bad as Cleveland is, you know, or has been, and they're a developing team. They've been starting from scratch. I don't know how many times. You would think they would, if they thought he was that kind of player, they would have kept him and tried to sign him to a long-term deal. Just like Chicago would have done the same thing for Alshon Jeffries, but they didn't.
Yep.
But they didn't.
Well, I think those were two situations where both receivers wanted out regardless. Like
they
wanted to
go
get
that money. They wanted to prove themselves to go get that money.
And they also had no quarterbacks to throw them the ball to get the money.
They did.
When you look at Cleveland, they don't have a quarterback. You look at Chicago, they were getting rid of Cutler anyway. He was like, well, I'm not going to go through this shuffling of quarterbacks, and then I'm not going to get my money because you're going to tell me I'm not worth it. But Cutler never threw a ball on accuracy whatsoever throughout the entire season, and Alshon Jeffrey caught all of his passes. So he's like, hey, I'm worth the money. And they're like, oh, no, you're not. And he's like, okay, well, I'm out of here. Prior from me watching football games against the Steelers, he dropped a lot of passes. I mean, they weren't in his chest, but they were definitely on the run type passes where he just couldn't hold on to them. So like TO syndrome.
Why did if that's the case with Alshon Jeffries, why didn't the Eagles give him a long-term deal?
Because they wasn't giving him the money that he wanted, and like you said, he's searching for that money. So if he does really good with the Eagles, say he come, do over 1,000 yards this year, he's going to ask the Eagles for.
But the Eagles are telling him to prove it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
They're not sold right now.
They're not sold. It just like Chicago wasn't sold, the Eagles aren't sold. Just like Cleveland wasn't sold on Pryor, the Redskins ain't sold on them. They both receivers have to prove themselves. That's my point. I mean, I understand, like you said, that and Alshon, let's not act like Alshon Jeffries caught everything and had stick 'em all over his glove because he didn't. He became the number one by default.
Right.
This is what happened.
Yeah, it was easy to become number one there.
In Chicago.
It was easy to come number one in Philadelphia too.
Yeah, in Philly.
It's easy to come number one in Philadelphia. It's like, hey,
that's what I'm saying.
You've caught over 1,000 yards in a season. You've got the
number
job.
One. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the job. There you go.
That just proves my point.
Over 1,000 yards, you got the job.
Wait, that means he's coming in with an advantage right there because you saying it yourself. It ain't like the receiving core was that great, so he could come in and be that number one.
Yeah, easily.
So I mean, but ultimately, what the Redskins have to do is run the ball, and I think it's going to take them a few more weeks to get into that offense and get it going with that new system they got going with Kavanaugh. I do think they can beat the Rams. They can beat the Rams. The Rams put up good numbers last week. They played very, very well. I don't think that's indicative of how good the Rams are. I don't know that the Rams are that good. I don't think so. They did, like I said, they put up good numbers last week, but I don't see a playoff team in the Rams. I don't see that. No. I don't see that at all.
It'll be interesting to see what they do this week because they were lights out last week. Goff looked like a real damn quarterback.
Didn't he? Didn't he? He looked like he actually had some sense. Because if you watch that damn Hard Knocks, he's an idiot. He's a blithering idiot.
Well, what I'm gonna say is the Colts are hurting right now. The Colts are not really together as a team on offense, and we have no idea what their defense is currently this year. But I will say he was throwing some lasers out there. Yeah, he was on point. He was hitting people in their chest. He was doing what he had to do. Not to say that he didn't go up against a real good defense. We don't know what the Colts are on defense, but I tell you right now, when he backed up, he looked confident. And he was putting that ball on his receivers. And I'm
sure the Redskins will definitely be a tougher test for him.
They'll test him, yeah. They're going to put some pressure on him and really, like, just basically how the Eagles did the Redskins. They're going to do the same. The Redskins are going to have to do the same thing to the Rams and blitz and really make Goff show and prove that he's the quarterback that they think he's going to be. I mean, they're going to have to test him. They can't sit back and just let him try to navigate and get the offense going. They got to hit him in the mouth early.
Right.
And I think if they do that, it's going to be a long game for Goff. I see his confidence easily broken once he gets that taste of a letdown or he makes that bad play. I mean, because he didn't play bad at all against the Colts. He played great.
Everything.
And again, Like he was playing with short fields majority of the game though because the coach couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, poor Tolzien. I feel bad for the brother. Tolzien, Jesus Christ, man.
He's a place.
I mean, they sent him out to slaughter, man. He was like a lamb out to slaughter. You can't do that, man, like that. You know.
That was bad. That was bad.
Oh, that was bad. But I think that the Redskins have a good chance at bouncing back and winning this game against the Rams. I really do. I feel like they have a great chance at doing that. If they commit to the running game and put pressure on Goff, I think you're going to see a different Redskins team than you saw in Week 1. You're going to see a more improved Redskins team if they do those things. You know, I'm not expecting it to change overnight, but there are tweaks and things and adjustments that they can make in order to look like a better team in Week 2.
And
so that's how I feel about that.
The number one adjustment that you're going to have to make is Cousins has to be ready for the blitz, because now that they show that it'll work against them and he'll throw an outright ball up in the air, they're going to send them, because they were sending a lot of people against the coach.
Well, if they run the ball, that'll slow some of that down.
That'll help that though. Exactly. I mean, because they can run it. If they establish the running game, then they can open up those passing lanes, and then later on come back with the play action to give Cousins a little more time to throw the ball, because they're going to be expecting to run.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just
from what I know about Bill Callahan, he's probably pissed the way the lack of commitment to the run, because he's big on running the ball. He's the O-line coach / assistant head coach. Mm-hmm. Big on running the ball, because I know that he was our run game coordinator when he was in Dallas. I hated to see him go, but he couldn't get along with Jason Garrett. They were butting heads all the damn time. But I know he likes to run the ball, so I would be surprised to see the Skins come out this game not committing to the run.
Yeah, I'll be shocked too. They got to do it. They just got to commit to the run. You got the personnel. You got what you need. You got two backs who play two different styles, but can give you quality production. Then you got to use it.
Yeah,
you got to use it.
I would say that this game is really going to be on Cousins. Do not underestimate this Rams defense.
Oh, hell no, you can't underestimate the Rams defense.
It's going to be on Cousins, because even though you get a little run game going, their linebackers are very good.
But let's not act like Cousins. Let's not act like Cousins ain't never been blitzed though.
Right.
I mean, he's been blitzed before.
True.
And really, one of the reasons why Gruden decided to play Cousins over RG3, for example, is because RG3 couldn't pick up when those blitzes were coming. He couldn't pick up and understand when that heat was coming or know which side it was coming from. Cousins will do that. I'm not saying he does the best job at it, but he recognizes that. I mean, sometimes the quarterback is gonna get hit. You got to know that. And there's not a quarterback out there that's not gonna make a mistake. So, you know, that's what happened with Cousins. It just so happens his mistakes were magnified because it was Week 1 and he's in a new system. That's you know, I'm not saying that Kirk Cousins is perfect. I've never said that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and act like every time he gets blitzed, he just throws the ball up in the air, because that's not the case.
Yeah, no.
Well, if there's no checkdowns for him on those blitz plays, he's going to continue to try to get to where he needs to get it.
Well, he always got to have an outlet.
And I look back at that play where he threw the interception to Mills. He was being blitzed, and he just threw it.
He airmailed it.
Yeah.
He did. It was a bad throw.
Yeah.
It was a bad throw.
And then
but it's not like he makes that bad throw.
He looked at the sideline afterwards and was like, "What I do? Like, what do you mean?" Like they was coming. I let it go.
Who?
Kirk Cousins. He looked right to the sideline like.
Yeah, he said he made a mistake. He owned a mistake. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, we've been on this one too long. Trevis, Eagles, Chiefs.
Whoo.
Yeah, this is the second heavyweight fight. We got two heavyweights.
Yeah, flying high off of last week's win. I really hope that we can fix some of the things. They pulled out some new plays that I was really like, what the hell are you doing? Run north and south, don't go east and west.
Yeah.
The speed of the Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to be a problem. And I'm going to say this because A lot of plays that the Eagles have, they're doing a lot of east west with the running of the running backs and the receivers when they coming across, and then they run back out like this is a college team. I saw a lot of college plays, and the aggressive defense will probably break all that up, and then we end up with a couple of injured wide receivers. On the back end, our running game has to produce. We had no running game last week. Had about 56 yards. That is it. You got LeGarrette Blount, you got Sproles back there. They gotta make something happen. If we got a so-called best starting offensive line coming up for this NFL season, I didn't see it because your offensive line is supposed to move the defensive line off the ball. We barely moved them. We gotta get a running game if a play action is going to happen with Wentz. Tell you the truth, I don't even know how the play action was happening because we only had 56 yards. We weren't doing anything with the ball, but the play action was working. I don't even understand how it worked. I'll tell you the truth. When he went down to go fake it with that, I hate the spread fake to the running back where you leave the ball out here like this and fake to your running back. No linebacker doesn't believe you're about to run the ball. Like, oh, he's about to run the ball. He's giving it to him. Oh, his hand moved. The ball's not there anymore. I just run right to the running back. I like the fake where you fake it, you bend down, you come back up, and you throw the ball. I like that particular type of fake. Can our receivers handle their corners? Of course, I believe that now. We're not dealing with the last year of Philadelphia Eagles receivers. Of course, I believe that now. Can we handle their receivers? And this is where it comes down to the point of, can our defensive line and linebackers blitz fast enough to stop Alex Smith from throwing the ball deep down the field? That is the key. Because if
you think y'all gonna put you're gonna send a lot of blitzes at him? From what I heard, what I heard a lot of complaints about in the offseason, I didn't think it was true. I don't know. But it was that Jim Schwartz doesn't like the blitz, but it seemed to me like he liked the blitz. He sure as hell blitzed the hell out of Kirk Cousins.
I don't know where all those stories are coming from. I think Jim Schwartz is a blitzing maniac. That's why they hired him. He was just like Jim Johnson. As far as that comment, I have no idea where it came from, and that's completely retarded.
I heard it a lot.
As far as our linebackers being able to stop Hunt out the backfield, that's a very important factor right there. I'm sure they're going to put Kendricks on him to spy him, but you got to remember, Hunt's probably not going to get tired. Kendricks will. So you need a second linebacker to be able to run around with Hunt.
You think they're going to drop Malcolm Jenkins down for Kelsey?
Yes.
He's a handful.
Yeah, they're going to do it again. They're going to do it again.
Yeah.
They do it again.
He's killing it.
That's two great tight ends back to back that he'll be sticking, and you won't see him with no picks, no interceptions. He'll basically be designed to stop him from getting too far downfield, and that drag play that he runs, they're trying to stop that also. But I think New England had a perfect game plan for him. That's why they designed that Hunt play out of the backfield, because what they do is they run Kelsey off across that drag, then they ran Hunt on a loop around. So the linebacker had to run with Hunt. That's when he got that big touchdown. Hunt, a blaze of glory. So I'm looking to see what they're going to be able to do with that.
Wow. Yeah, he's a mismatch. They have a lot of mismatches, man.
Yeah. They have a lot of speed. The only thing we could hope for is a rattle Alex Smith. We rattle him. We hit him a couple of times. Right. You know, Alex Smith becomes check down Smith.
Yeah.
He will check down all day long if he feel like the heat is too much on him. I'm hoping that Cox can do the split rip, get in there, get his hand up in his face, make him throw a quick check down, or get a linebacker to come in and make some tackles, do some short yardage plays.
Every team's going to have to deal with that front seven that the Eagles have. They are, you know, if you get Fletcher Cox back to being Fletcher Cox, like he took last year off.
Well, he took last year off because he was probably juicing, and when Lane got caught, he said he got chill. That's what happened. So
he was at the strip club every night with all that new money he just
exactly right. Something happened, right? He got paid. He was like, he got paid. Then he was like, "Oh, I got chill. They came at the lane. They might get me next. I got chill."
Right.
But now you have to legitimately block every person's on the Eagles defensive line.
Yeah.
Straight across. from Long to Graham.
Right.
Then you got Cox, you got Curry. Like, you have to block them. You could probably pinch down and double team on one of them, but then you got to worry about the other. So you could see that a lot of times when they did the slant blitz, that when you saw Cox rip through, he was already in the backfield already.
Right.
So then you got Graham crashing down on the other side. So they're actually working together now as a defensive line.
Yeah.
But also that's another reason why you could blitz. Because when you worried about a certain defensive lineman, now you like, oh, we both got to block him. Oh, wait, this linebacker's coming through the middle. So
and that blitz
that's pretty much.
It's hard to deal with, man. Like, offensive coordinators are going to have to start, you know, figuring out tendencies when the blitz is coming, and you know, other than the normal hot reads and the normal blitz, because they know when they blitz who your hot read's going to be, and they get tackled for a 2-yard gain. You know,
one good thing about Jim Johnson's defense, he knew when to drop the defensive end.
Yeah.
If the hot read was coming from the right side, he would drop that in right in the passing lane, and he would have an interception. Hugh Douglas was big with that interception. They got to figure out who has that particular type of skill to drop back, because Alex Smith is going to dink and dunk as long as he still has the ball in his hand. He doesn't hit.
Watching them against the Redskins, it's like I could see the writing on the wall, man. Like, they're going to be doing this shit all season until offenses start burning them with screens at the right time.
Yep.
You know, like the perfect play, because they high risk, high reward.
Yep.
But if you catch them at the right time with the right play, you go for 8
yarders. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, that's the thing though. Like you saying that Alex Smith is a check down king. He is, and he definitely played pretty much the best game he's ever played in his life last week. I mean, he was throwing the ball down the field, and that's something Alex Smith didn't. He didn't even do a lot of that in San Fran.
I'm hoping it stops with that game. I'm hoping it stops with that game.
Blitzing them, really won't have time.
But really,
that play,
you want him to try to do that. That's what you want him to do. You want him to try to do that because you guys are gonna come after him.
Yeah, that play took some time.
But you don't want him to dink and dunk and throw that screen pass when you can catch y'all slipping. You don't want that.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that we spy Hunt with Kendricks, and then that way, if that screen does come up, he's tackled pretty quickly. They've done it before where they spied the running back, not the quarterback. They spied the running back because the running back was too fast. So I'm hoping they come up with that particular analogy to stop Hunt. I mean,
what's your biggest matchup for that game, Trevis?
Jenkins Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Whoever they have on Torrey Smith.
What about
it's not gonna be Alshon Jeffrey, it's gonna be Torrey Smith, because they want to see if that bomb can connect. And it hasn't connected yet. It missed twice against the Redskins.
What about Lamar Houston and Lane Johnson?
Well, I'm looking at that matchup as hopefully Lane took a little shot that week. Hopefully he took a shot, man. Hopefully he took something. My biggest concern is Peters. Is Peters healthy? They haven't said anything about it. With him not in the lineup, we have to shake things up, and then Vitai's back in the game. Now Houston on Vitai is a problem. The same way it was with Kerrigan. That is a problem.
Well, Houston doesn't move around that much, though. I think he just stays on the left end, right? For the most part.
Yeah, well, I mean, Vitai is only going to play right tackle.
Well, no, Lane Johnson plays right tackle.
Yeah, but if Peters is hurt,
you think
Vitai doesn't play the left tackle.
You think they move Johnson to the left tackle?
Yeah, they move him over. Remember, he was supposed to come in and play behind Peters. Peters was supposed to left 4 years ago, I think.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know he had been working him out over there, though. I didn't know.
They work him out. They work him out on that side when Peters not in the game. That's why when I was screaming at the TV when I saw Vitai sticking Kerrigan, I said, "Do you remember what he did to him last time he played? Why is he in the game?"
Kerrigan's a beast.
Man, he was killing him, man. I was like, "Oh my God, nothing you could do about it, man."
Wow. So let's move on since we getting late. Cowboys Broncos, man. That's a other heavyweight fight going on. My hopes for that is we see the bum and Trevor Simeon come out. I'm not a believer in this young man just yet.
I'm not so.
He played very well last week, but I don't know which Trevor Simeon we're going to get. But I think the biggest matchup for me in that game is Von Miller and Lyle Collins, man. That's Lyle's a mean dude. As you can see, he tossed JPP ass around a few times.
Yeah.
And we know Von Miller. He's probably the best in the damn game at doing what he do. So that's gonna be a big deal, man. But Dallas is gonna do what they do. They're gonna run just like Zeke said. We're gonna run the same 4 plays, and you're gonna have to stop us. He made that shit sound real simple. I'm sure they run more than 4 damn plays. You could get the gist of what he was saying. I'm not really terrified about their offense. Anderson is a solid back. What's the name? Why am I drawing a blank on his name? The receiver, 88.
Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas. He's good as hell. Emmanuel Sanders, they're good, but like I said before, I like our secondary. So, a lot of it depends on the pass rush again and seeing what Simeon has to offer. But
I think, to me, the Broncos don't give a damn about offense. They really don't. They don't care. They do just enough.
Right.
Just enough. They do just enough. And then they wait for the defense.
Right.
Carry them the rest of the way.
Give them a short field or even put 6 on the board themselves.
Right. It's almost like if the Broncos D don't put up 1 touchdown, they're probably going to lose that game. That's kind of how they play that offense.
Yeah.
So again, like you said, I'm not sold on Simeon. I think that he by default, it's kind of like by default he's their guy.
Right.
It ain't. I don't think he had time to really to be groomed to be a true legit NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he got tossed into the fire, way too early.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've been hurting at quarterback for a long time. I mean, even when they had Peyton Manning, I mean, he was just kind of serviceable. He was just there.
Yep.
He wasn't lighting it up at all, and then, of course, they had the Osweiler debacle. That guy, I got him back. Right. He's come full circle. That bum. You know what I was really excited about? That the Redskins didn't throw their name in the hat to go get that damn Osweiler when he was looking for that big deal. Houston dumbass jumped in and gave him all that money. Then Cleveland
they knocked him up and got rid of his ass real quick.
Yeah, and then Cleveland gonna pick him up. Yeah. And then like I said, he come back full circle, back to the Broncos. But at the end of the day, I think that if the Cowboys, if they're going to establish the running game, but I think it's going to be imperative for them to make sure they put some pressure on Simeon, because I don't think he can hold it. I don't think he can handle it.
Yeah, same here. That's why I think, if Cowboys can do that, that's a bonus. I think the game is going to be one of lost Cowboys offense versus Broncos defense. I think that's
absolutely. I agree 100%.
That's strength on strength right there.
I agree. That's where it's going to be decided.
Yeah, because they are tough still.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still had a no-fly zone, but they still damn good.
But I will say this: the Broncos defense, they got rid of that Ward, got rid of that safety.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah, but the dude they replaced him with is balling though. Like he's good as hell. He's good as hell. I forget his name, but I saw him play, and it's like, all right, okay. I see why they let him go. I can see that. I can see it. So we'll see. I don't even shit. I guess we got to do predictions in a couple of minutes. I'll have to You know I'm going Cowboys, but I got to figure out the score. Shit, we going 16 to no far as I'm concerned.
Right? I mean, yeah. I mean, you ain't gonna. I feel you.
Won't be one damn week I'm picking against my boys. Shit. Let's go. Giants, Lions.
Giants gonna suck a damn game.
Giants lose 38-14.
Ooh.
Look, man,
they leaking oil right now, huh?
Did you see the Lions game? Did you see the Lions game? That ball's lighting up the sky.
Stafford, right? Y'all know Matthew Stafford just got paid all that big money, right?
He did.
Matthew Stafford gonna throw for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then after the game, he gonna get the whole team fried chicken and go to the strip club. That's what Matthew Stafford gonna do.
I say Matthew Stafford throws for 427. 427 in the game.
Oh,
Matthew Stafford, 427.
Against that good ass Giants defense and secondary.
Ain't nothing good about that defense.
Nah, he ain't putting
their ass up.
Did you see the passes that the Cowboys were catching on them?
I did.
And it was very physical. It's not gonna be physical against the Lions. You know why? Because they're gonna be running past them.
Yo, the Lions got that rookie wide receiver, Galladay. Galladay ain't no punk. That boy, he got good.
I heard about him.
Man, he got good hands. And he's big. He's a big guy. I mean, he puts you in the mind frame of Megatron with a little more speed.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he really did play well. I'm not saying he's better. I'm not stepping out there and saying he's gonna be better.
Y'all not gonna get me to jump out on that limb with Detroit Matt Stafford because he's an enigma, man.
I mean, but Detroit beat the Cardinals, though.
I know, but still, I don't think nobody's gonna embarrass the Giants defense like that. They're too damn good. They're good.
I don't know.
I don't think the Giants defense is gonna be the problem. I think it's gonna be the lack of offensive production from the Giants offense that's gonna allow Detroit's offense to stay on the field and do whatever they want to do. You know, I think that defense is gonna be on the field way too long. The Giants defense, I'm saying. They're gonna be on the field way too long. They're gonna have to do too much.
I do know this: if that offense has another outing like it had against Dallas, there will be some dissension in the ranks for sure. You know that defense will start looking at that offense coming off the field like, yo, like y'all ain't shit.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Odell Beckham already told you how the Giants season is about to go. When he looked at it and he said,
out for the next, what you say, 6 to 8 weeks?
6 to 8 weeks. He said, he looked at the team and he said, do we have a team? No, we don't. I'm taking 6 to 8 weeks. That's what he did. That's what he did. They went out there and they played that game and it wasn't close and he watched it. So I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna try to practice, but I don't really want to.
He said, "Man, where my boy Russell Westbrook so we can go have another dance off."
What happened was they brought Marshall in and he was like, "Well, what you need Marshall for? Like y'all got rid of Cruz. What y'all need Marshall for? Oh, y'all trying to bring somebody in to replace me?
Hell nah, you know they ain't.
I'm telling you.
They wouldn't do that with Marshall ass anyway.
The Giants are idiots. They would trade Odell Beckham. The Giants.
It says a reporter says Taylor Rooks on BleacherReport.com says I spoke to Odell Beckham to clarify 6 to 8 week comment, and Odell says could be as little as 4 or as much as 12. Depends on person and how quickly they heal.
Yeah, that's those high ankle sprains, man. I was saying that those joints linger for long, especially with someone like Odell who need to be shifty as he does playing receiver.
I mean, that's his bread and butter. Yeah, that's how he plays.
Sprains, man. We lost. I remember Randy Gregory, the first game of the season. He had a high ankle sprain against the Giants, and I don't think he came back till like week 13 or something like that. It was crazy. So
it's a bad injury. Don't get me, like I said, Odell is one of the best players in the league. with the deficiencies that they had that they showed on offense in their offensive line, with Odell on the field or not, if they don't change something and if they don't protect Eli more or give him a little more time, just not asking for a lot, but a little more time to throw that ball. I don't care who you put at wide receiver.
Right.
Oh, line on block, they don't score. They don't do nothing. That offense goes nowhere. That's just what it is. That's football 101, man. Am I wrong?
101. 101. So I won't even say good luck to them, like I said last week, because I wouldn't mean it. So
give me with that rapid fire, baby. Let's go.
Oh shit! I was about to say we skip, but yeah, we get a couple in. We get a couple.
I just need a little bit.
All right, Bane. Maine.
Oh shit.
Have the has your receiving core taken a step back from last year?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Boom! Bow!
As soon as he said something about the receiving core, I had to let him know, like, oh, shots fired.
Shots fired. You lost Deshaun, Pierre. You know, now you have Josh Doxson, who can't hardly ever stay healthy, and then now you have
Grant.
Who's number 14? Who's number 14?
Grant. I
Ryan
think
Grant?
that's Josh. Or that's Ryan Grant. Yeah, that's Grant.
No, Ryan Grant's number 11. I'm sorry. Josh Doxson is 14. You're right.
Yeah, well, Doxson was doing his job. He was doing what he had to do.
Yeah, so
what else?
have they taken a step back?
I feel like I don't feel like they have, and I explain why. I don't feel like they have because I feel like they still have a weapon in Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Pryor in this new offense, once it starts to gel, he will thrive. I feel like he will thrive in the newer offense. So I don't feel like they taking a step back. And part of that, I personally thought that the loss of Garcon or Garcon leaving was a bigger deal than Deshaun Jackson. And I say that because Garcon was more of a possession receiver.
Yeah. He
wasn't afraid to go over the middle.
Right.
And with Jackson, if it wasn't a long, deep ball or if it wasn't a big play, you didn't hear much from him.
Yeah, he was a one-trick pony. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One-trick pony.
Yeah.
And he may have been 1,000-yard receiver, no doubt. But if you look at it's the eye test, just like we talked about. If you look at those games that he played and those catches that he made, it was big plays, and then you wouldn't hear from him for like 3 weeks.
Right.
I tried to tell everybody when he was with the Eagles that was
It
the
was the same
problem.
way. It was the same thing. The only advantage, the main advantage he had over, when he played for the Eagles is that he was returning punts too. You know what I mean? But he stopped doing that when he did it some in the very beginning of his career with the
When he
Redskins.
got hit by the guy from Atlanta, it was over.
And that was it.
He was done for like the next 2 years. He was like, I ain't going across the middle.
Yeah.
And furthermore, don't get me wrong. I think Deshaun Jackson is a dynamic player, but at the same time, that boy's a head case. He talked too much.
Mm-hmm.
He always got something to say. Even if you look at the Hard Knocks episode, I think it was episode 3 of the Hard Knocks, when they had a practice game during preseason, he was complaining that Jameis Winston wasn't throwing him the ball in practice.
Wow.
He complaining already. So I feel like getting rid of Deshaun Jackson was something that was needed so that you could have a more cohesive team or more cohesive receiving core. So I felt like losing Garcon was a bigger deal personally.
Okay.
But I think that I don't think they taking a step back. I think time will tell how they gel together and how they're going to play together as a receiving core. But again, you didn't lose Reed. You still have Crowder, who they both still know the system very well. And then you have a big receiver in Pryor, and you have Ryan Grant, who's ready to prove himself. Doxson, he's got to put in that work. He just does. I've read several articles, and I've actually listened to Jay Gruden talk about Doxson has to put in that work to get more reps and get more passes thrown his way. So that's what he's got to do. Mm-hmm. And he's got to stay healthy. You got to stay on the field. So I don't think they took a step back. I think they have to prove themselves and get that cohesiveness. Yeah, they have to do that. But I think that's the case with any receiving core that comes together and you have new components. You know, all of them have to do that.
I think it might be fair to revisit this question and maybe, let's say, after 8 weeks.
I agree. I could have said, yeah, time will tell, but that ain't enough of an answer, you know.
Well, I mean, it's legit though, because you do have. I mean, the coordinator was in the system. He was your quarterback
coach. Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know if he's running the same system as Sean McVay or not. I don't know, but
doesn't look like it.
Yeah, no, it looked like that was all some new shit that they probably had just gotten the playbook this last week.
Yeah. Last week, God, dog, Cash.
No. Man, them Cavs was under siege, yo. Just sort of said, yeah, we're gonna blitz y'all while y'all figure that shit out.
Yeah. Take that.
Take all these right here. Take all these. Work on this shit following next week after we beat up on y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevis.
Yes, sir.
I seem to come at you with these Peterson questions, man. I think there's something going on there. So, listening to the radio today, I didn't know about this, but what's going on with Schwartz and Peterson? Is there some fire there with that smoke?
You asked me this question just last week.
No,
said,
not quite. I asked
not this question, but
not to be on the hot seat.
Listen to this monologue.
I'm listening.
For him not to be on the hot seat. I think this was a planned thing that happened. If the Redskins had came back and won the game, they would have started some little backroom talk about, oh, Schwartz wants his job. That's what they're battling also, to take off the play of the field. The way that you see it right now, no. Schwartz said it in his statement. Sometimes I scream at people. And it's not that I'm angry at them, but I'm a defensive-minded coach, and defensive-minded coaches scream. You know, and somebody might have caught him talking to Peterson, but it looked like he was screaming at him. So you can't say anything about it. You could just say, you know, it was a heat wave and the heat was out and somebody thought they saw smoke. The heat was out and they thought they saw smoke. They thought it was smoke, but it wasn't. He said, look, man. He said, look. Yo, can you stop with the buzzer, please? Yo.
That's some bullshit I'm hearing right now.
No, I'm serious. He said, look. Sometimes I scream at people. And you know, he said, look, man, I'm not here to take Peterson's job. He said, I've already been a head coach in the NFL. I'm not here to take Peterson's job.
Bruh.
I'll just let you know, man.
Look here. Schwartz is coming for that cat, man. He's coming.
You better watch his damn back.
Yeah. You talk that bullshit if you want to. That dude is coming for him. You know how the defensive coordinators, you know, they get pissy, and he's a fiery dude too.
Yep.
Yes.
And he said he was talking to Doug with a little bit more than what he probably should have. And somebody probably saw that and then said, oh, well, you know, he's mad at him. And then they made up the head coach situation. He said he did not want to be a head coach. He was perfectly fine with being a defensive coordinator.
Well, there's your smoke. That's all I'm saying. So it's either that.
You know, when it get real hot outside and you look at the ground and the heat be coming up off the ground, that's all that was. They thought
I never confused that shit with fire.
You said smoke. We're not talking about fire. We're talking about smoke.
No, I asked you, was there some fire with that smoke? It's definitely smoke.
That's no smoke, man.
No, there's smoke. There's
no
definitely
smoke. But didn't you say?
No smoke.
Didn't you say that you would have heard grumblings or something to that effect?
If
they would have lost that game.
Oh, if they'd have lost the game, they blamed it on the fact that they were fighting.
Yeah, well, there's.
It's a pretty good reason.
But you know what happens when you get a win, and that all goes away. It
doesn't matter. It's a great.
It's the best thing to come around, boy. A good old fashioned win.
It's like cough syrup. You treat the symptom for a little bit, but that bitch is still there.
It's still there.
Still there.
You don't leave but so many.
Until next week.
Hall's cough drops
Suppress.
Until next
That's
week.
suppressing the
That's what he said,
symptom,
until
brother. That's
next
all
week.
it's doing. It ain't no cure.
Yeah, until next week. That's what we got to say. Until next week. Nothing else.
Till next week. See, check me next week. See if we win or lose. I'll let you know.
Exactly.
I got a rapid fire question for you, Cash.
What's up?
What does the one and only Dak Prescott have to do to shut up the hate? What does he have to do?
Keep doing what he doing.
Okay.
Put on those horse blinders. Never mind the haters.
Okay.
Keep balling and not turning that ball over. You know, I don't know if it's really going to go away, man. I was listening to Eric Mangini today, and he was saying the same shit. Then the host of the show it's that new Chris Carter bullshit show they have on FS1. And they were saying the same thing, like, oh, you know, Dak. How do you know how good Dak really is? Because he has so much talent around him. It's like, Lee, when will it stop? Like, this is just a dumbass argument, but he can't control that. All that man can do is go out there and keep doing what he's doing. You know, it should either stop or it won't. So
I believe you're about to find out real soon.
You think so?
If they sit y'all running back, you're about to find out.
If they sit Zeke. But I don't want it to come to that for that man to prove how good he is. I don't want that shit.
Well, sometimes, you know, blessings come in different packages.
No blessing for him.
That's not a blessing.
He's gonna find out the type of quarterback that he is, and he's gonna find out what he got to do to grow in the NFL. It's gonna be good for him.
Bullshit. I'm sure.
The last thing you want is it to come to a playoff game and Zeke go down, and then he got to figure out in a playoff game. The last thing you want to do.
Like, I don't know, man. I just can't buy into that, my man. I can't. We got Troy Aikman, who had Emmett and Mike all his damn career. Like, but you know what? When Emmett held out for 2 games after their first Super Bowl, when Jerry was on his look at his offensive line, we could put fucking Curvin Richards or Sherman behind his old line and still win, and they went 0-2. It brought Emmett ass back, and nobody was shitting on Troy when they went 0-2.
Well, I mean, I hear you, but
I don't know why they're doing that with Dak. I don't want to make it a race thing. I don't know what it is about this whole thing, man. I think, like I said before, it's because everybody missed on him. Like, he went in the 4th round, and I think people don't want to admit they were wrong about that. So they want to say, well, I was right projecting him as late in the draft. You know, he just fell into a perfect situation. So he's really not as good as he looks. He's just surrounded by greatness. Bullshit.
I don't believe that he's surrounded by greatness. I mean, I don't think your team's that good. But what I will say is, he does have a great offensive line. He does have a great offensive line. He has a great running back.
Is it okay? So
he has a great running back. No, because the receivers aren't great. Like, all your receivers aren't great. Like, let's not sit there like put them all out there like they're great.
Dez is what? Where's Dez?
Dez is a receiver. That's what Dez is. He's
okay, so there's a lot of great. I'm hearing a lot of greatness come out your mouth. What about Witten?
No, he's one of the best tight ends ever. Like, there's nothing else you can really do about it. And I understand that, period. But you also can connect Witten to the offensive line to the fact that he's blocking when it's time for the ball to be ran.
Well, thanks for making my
whenever
point.
you got a running back, averaging 100 yards a game, it's like, yo, he's getting 100 yards a game, and it's almost guaranteed, almost.
Yeah.
And that's that understanding of like, yo, if you go into a play action, everybody's running up to stop Zeke. So he's really getting man-to-man on the outside.
Right, but I mean, that's why all quarterbacks run play action. Like, these arguments could be made for all quarterbacks and all teams. I don't know why people nitpicking on that like that.
Because Zeke is getting like 150 a game. Is he the top runner in the NFL right now?
I don't think so.
Yes.
He only got 107 against the Giants, but shit, Giants
Only
top
got-
5 defense.
Only
So
got 107. All right.
he only got 107. I'm
Again,
sure there's a
he
back who
getting
got
100
more.
again. He getting 100 again.
Yeah,
So that
good.
means- okay.
I think ultimately what's gonna have to happen is Deke. Wow.
Dak. I do it too.
I think Dak, if he can continue to win, and I think he needs to shut him up by throwing the ball down the field. And if he could do that, continue to win and throwing that ball down the field, then at that point, they can't say anything about him if he does that.
Yeah. Man, I think you're
It went out. I know I'm trying to fix it out. That's why I just kept talking, man. I was trying not to say that, man.
I think your camera quit on you again.
Why you trying to talk about my equipment, yo? I'm trying to fix it, man.
Got the Hashi.
Out on you
Got the Hashi going left on you, man.
He said,
golly,
man, shit, we've been at this too long. Hey, let's make predictions and bold predictions and get the hell on up out of here. I'll start. Cowboys, Broncos. I'm going with my boys. I think we're gonna have to score. Well, shit, this is so damn hard, man. Cowboys, Broncos. I got Cowboys 24-17.
All right.
Y'all don't have to pick that one. Pick your own so we could speed it up.
Go for it, Trevis.
Don't call me out right off the bat. I'm sitting here trying to hold on to it. I say Eagles in an upset in Kansas City.
Ooh.
28-20.
28-20. That would be an upset. Yes, it would be.
Eagles 28-20. Okay.
28-20. Skins, Rams.
I got the Redskins winning 21-17.
21-17. And we can all do Giants, Lions.
I did it already.
You did it already.
Yeah, 38-14.
You did. Oh.
Yo, hey man, if that shit came out true, boy, you be the man, Drew.
Hey, look, hey, I'm gonna piggyback a little bit. I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna go 32-14. 14 Giants. 32-14 Lions.
Oh, Lions, because I was about to say, Tree was picking the Lions.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I apologize.
I'm going 21-17 Giants.
Are you picking the Giants?
Yep.
I'm giving 14 to the defense.
I'm giving 7 to him. Eli need all the help he can get.
Eli finds the end zone, but they don't find anything to stop that Lions offense.
All right, man, give me a bold prediction about your game. Like one player going off for, Kirk Cousins going off 500 yards. Give me a bold prediction.
I think Pryor going to have more than 100 yards receiving.
That's not a bold prediction.
Yeah, sure it is. That's what he just did.
That's a possible. That's too possible.
Okay, so that's too much of a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay. Jared Allen will have 3 sacks.
Jared Allen, 3 sacks. That's a bold prediction.
I think he's gonna come. I think he's gonna show up a lot more.
Did he even play last week?
He had 1 assist.
Oh. No, you mean Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, damn. I'm tripping.
Yeah, I'm like,
I had the last name right.
how did they sign Jared Allen? Then I
thought
had
that too. I
this
said,
image
Jared.
I had this image in my head of that retirement thing he did where he rode off in the snow on that horse.
Man, that dude, man.
I'm like, nah, that cat retired. He must be talking about something else. Jonathan Allen, 3 sacks.
Jonathan Allen, the rookie. Yes.
Okay. All right. 3 sacks. That's cool. That's cool. That's a bit less of a bold prediction than Jared Allen. That shit was real bold. What you got, Trevis? What's your bold prediction?
Bold prediction. I got Eagles defense, 3 interceptions, special teams, 1 punt return.
Ooh, that's damn. You went out there.
Who?
Eagles D, 3 picks and 1 punt return. Wow. That's bold, Trevis.
Yeah. We're gonna need something else to shake up the game because
you need all you can get.
I mean, I'm confident that Wentz decisions is just that offense up against our defense. It's going to be all about what Schwartz does to slow them down.
3 interceptions, and who runs it back?
He didn't say who. Sproles.
Yeah, Sproles.
He
looked like they were saving him last week. I don't know why, but it looked like they were saving him. He didn't even play.
Well, that's smart. I mean, he hardly played in preseason, so
yeah.
You don't want to beat him up too much in first.
You want to bring him along? Yeah,
I'm thinking Jalen Smith might be sore as hell because he hadn't played in damn near 2 years, so he's probably sore as hell. He played more than anybody expected him to. So my bold prediction, I'm going defense.
Uh-oh.
I'm going defense, and I'm going to say we're going to whoop Simeon's ass. I'm going with Trevis. I'm going 3 interceptions for my boy. 3 interceptions. That's what I'm going with my young boys. I'm so hype about them, man. So hype. Everybody's bitching and moaning about all the people we let go. Let them go. They sucked.
You said it. I didn't.
I've been saying that shit. I hated Brandon Carr and Morris Claiborne, man. Those dudes, they were all about letting cats catch 7-yard passes in front of them and tackle them. Like, they didn't make plays on balls, no interceptions ever. None of that.
Claiborne was a bust. Word up.
A huge bust. Jerry moved up to draft him at number 6, gave up quite a bit to move up to pick him too, man.
I think that LSU thing is what got him on that play.
Totally did. He was the best defensive player in that draft going into the draft.
Yeah.
So yeah, he flamed out. He was a total bust. Last calls, fellas. Last calls. What y'all have?
You know, I'd like to say that if the Redskins don't run the damn ball, I'm gonna send Jay Gruden a hate letter. Send him some hate mail. You know, I feel like the NFCs, all except the Giants, they played okay. It as a whole, as a collective, I would say. I say, you know, the Giants just didn't show up to play. The Redskins, they started working through some of their kinks during the game, but they didn't do it fast enough. They're gonna need a couple more weeks to really get to tip top shape and get it together. They're gonna need some time. I think the Eagles proved to be a tough opponent. I like what I saw from the defense. They actually did a lot more than I expected them to do on defense. And the Cowboys, I felt like they played a really good game. I like I said, I would have liked to seen Dez do more, but you know, they were going against a tough defense. So
yeah,
you know, I think as a whole, I expect to see some more excitement from the NFCs, and I'm looking forward to a good week too.
Yep. I can dig it. I don't have much overall. I'm thinking Redskins. I'm expecting Redskins and Giants to both win. And it's up in the air with Cowboys and Eagles, if I'm being honest. So that's pretty much that's what I'm thinking for this week coming up. I don't know how this is going to shake out, man. The Cowboys and Eagles have some tough ass games. So really, hey, so
really,
and we're both going into some crazy ass stadiums. That's what I said a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, that stadium gonna be
West.
rocking. That's why I said we need special teams. We're gonna need them interceptions.
Yeah, both of them. You don't want to play. Look, I guess good for us. We're playing them early because it'd be even worse if this was like December.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Hey, look, I've been to Sports Authority Field. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to play. You being a mile above sea level, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, I got a little stat for y'all. The last time the Eagles won at Arrowhead was 1992.
Shit.
Yeah. You know what's funny? There's the same stat for Dallas hasn't beat the Broncos since 92, but it's a little exaggerated because they only play like once every 8 years or some crazy.
Well, the last time we lost to them in 2009, it was 34-14.
Yeah.
But we beat them when they came to Philly 26-16. So hopefully this is their same team. And that was in 2013. So
okay.
They're not the same team. They only still have Alex Smith. That's it.
Well, we shall see, man. We shall see. We shall see. So I'm going to go ahead and play this outro, and we're going to sign off. Trevis hasn't heard. You haven't heard this yet, have you?
Yeah, I heard it.
Hell to the Redskins. You can't see me cheering. I'm cheering, though. You can't see me, though.
Black ass camera.
Get that Hashi back.
Shouldn't even play this bullshit this week.
I'm about to say, turn that shit off.
Go big girls. Go big girls.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Trevis like that.
See me look off to the side like this.
Yeah, he like it. All right. Peacing out, peoples. Peacing out.
Good week, fellas.
Good week.